So today we're gonna make some yogurt. This is a very not off-grid to make yogurt. I'm going to use my Instapot, which uses a lot of electricity. But the reason I use it is because you can kind of just do it and let it do its thing. With 3 little kids, it's really hard for me to be able to keep an eye on the temperatures and the timing that goes into making yogurt without a special machine. So as long as we still have electricity, I'm still using the Instapot. But I'm going to show you how to do it today. In total, it'll take about 10 hours if you're going to make yogurt this way. There's a couple of steps right at the beginning, and in the last 8 hours, it just sits in the pot and you don't even have to do anything. So a lot of times I'll start it at night before I go to bed, and then it'll be done when I wake up in the morning. So to start, we basically just need 2 things. On the left is the Instapot, which has a lot of really cool features. It's basically a fancy pressure cooker that plugged into the wall. A lot of people use it to make like dried beans, turn them into chili beans really fast and things like that. I basically just use it to make yogurt, and it has a cool yogurt function just for that purpose. I got it as a gift from my parents, but if you wanted to just go buy one, I think they're about $100. And then on the right we have some fresh milk that I have not skimmed the cream off the top. You can use raw milk if you want to, but this milk has been high temperature, short time pasteurized according to USDA standards. So we're going to use a ½ gallon of that milk to make about a ½ gallon of yogurt. For those of you who haven't watched one of our previous videos, the reason I'm making this yogurt on the floor in the living room is because we do not have plugs in the kitchen. So if you didn't know that, that's why we're doing it down here. We want to give the milk a good shake. We want the cream mixed in. And we're going to pour a ½ gallon of this into what's called the inner pot, which is the silver pot of the Instapot. If I can get it open. There we go. Get the lid on for this part, you want to make sure that the valve is pointing towards sealing on the top of the Instapot. Okay, I'm going to press yogurt and then adjust, and it says boil, that's what we want, and it's going to run for about I think it's 26 minutes is this first part, and when it's done it's going to beep just like you just heard. And we're going to have to take the yogurt out of the inner tub in there. Well, it won't be yogurt yet. We'll take the milk out of the inner tub and we're going to cool it down in an ice bath. So it just beeped at me and you'll see the display change to say yogurt. So it is ready for the next step. The next step is optional. I'm going to take the cover off. Be really careful not to drip any of that condensation into your milk. So you got to be pretty quick with the cover. And then I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes on this yogurt function. This helps thicken it up a little bit if you like really thick yogurt. You do not have to do this step. You can skip this 5 minutes and go right ahead to cooling if you want to. Okay, we're going to take the lid off. There is going to be a lot of condensation in here, so we have to be pretty swift. There we go. And I'm going to push yogurt again, and you'll notice it says boil again. It's not going to beep at me this time. I'm just going to leave it on this function, this boil. Oops. Let's try that again. Try again. Shouldn't have pushed that. We're going to keep it right here for 5 minutes. This just helps keep the yogurt at the 180 degrees for just a little bit longer, which helps make a thicker yogurt. It's been 5 minutes, so I'm going to remove this silver inner pot, which is going to be hot, so be careful. And I've got my candy thermometer that I'm going to use to keep track of the milk, and I'm going to put this inner pot into a bowl of ice cold water to help it cool down a little faster. The goal is to get the milk down to 115 degrees, and once we get there, we'll mix in our starter yogurt, and then we'll be to the part where we can just let the yogurt sit and do its thing until it's done. Instapot heats the yogurt up to 180, which is exactly what we want, and so now it's going to start the cool down process. I think it's going to take probably about 20 minutes, so we'll keep checking in. Again, we want it to get down to 115 before we mix in our starter yogurt. It has been about 15 minutes, and you can see that we're actually almost there. About 5 degrees away, maybe. I can read. Yeah, we're actually really close. We might, let's see, let's put it a little bit further. We want to make sure it's even. Yeah, okay. The sides of the pot will get cooler faster, so when we go towards the middle, it gets a lot hotter. So we can give a little bit of a swish. I also don't know if this is correct yogurt making, but I do peel the milk skin back. I don't know if you're supposed to, but it doesn't seem to hurt my yogurt, and it helps it cool down faster. We're gonna give it another 5 minutes, and then we'll check it again. We have reached optimal temperature, so I'm going to ladle out about a half cup of what's in here into the separate bowl where I have 2 tablespoons of my starter yogurt. For your starter yogurt, you can either reuse yogurt you've already made, as long as, I think it's 7 days old is the limit for safety. Or you could just buy a good quality yogurt at the store that you like. I usually use Greek yogurt. You just want to make sure that it does have live and active cultures in it, and that it does not have added sugars or flavors. It's just the most basic yogurt you can find. Got it in here, now I'm going to, whoops, spilled a little bit, it's okay. I'm gonna mix it up. I've got it mixed up, it looks not chunky anymore, so we're going to pour this back into our big inner pot, and then we're going to put the inner pot back in the Instapot. Alright, I got it back in there. I got my lid back on. The vent is still switched towards sealing in the back. The lid is locked. Now I'm going to push the yogurt function again. And I'm going to adjust it so that it says 8 hours. And I'm just going to go about my day. When the 8 hours is up, it'll beep at me, and then our yogurt will be all done.
So last night when the yogurt was done, I pulled it out of the Instapot and just put it into, well, right now it's just like a leftover container. But we're getting ready to head out for the morning, and I'm gonna give the girls a quick snack and I'll show you what we do. Alright, I did give it a quick little mix, because it can kind of settle and separate just a little bit. So it's looking pretty good. I'll dish a little bit up for the girls now. You can flavor it with whatever fruit you have. We have this spiced pear jam that's thick, and we like to mix it in with the girls' yogurt. They really like that, but you can take whatever fruit you like to mix it in together. And that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.